So I was going through my YouTube feed earlier today, and I noticed something really strange. I have all these people I've subscribed to, right? This is my subscriptions box. There's a channel that I've never heard of before, and I was wondering, what's the deal with these guys? I checked out their channel. They have 2 videos, both of which were released today, and yet somehow they have 22,000 subscribers. And yet, here's the really weird thing. If I go through my subscriptions, all 50 or 100 of them or however many, do you see them anywhere here in the F section? If I scroll down further, do you see them anywhere in the list? They're not anywhere in here. And yet, apparently, I've subscribed to them already. What the hell, YouTube? So why am I doing this video? It's not just to shout out this channel that I think is actually a hacked account. This is a symptom of a much larger problem that I've seen going on recently. And that is with hacked accounts. A few months back, there was one channel in particular that I'm subscribed to that goes by the name of Hatmaster. He does Smite stuff, gameplay videos, whatever. The point is, his account was hacked probably about 5-6 months ago, maybe a bit longer. Despite the fact that YouTube has enforced 2-factor authentication, accounts like this are getting hacked all the time. If you guys want the story on what happened to Hatmaster, I'll have the link in the description. You can also see it right here on the video. But it's a 4.5-minute video on what happened to Hatmaster and all the steps that he had to go through. And he's not alone. It's ridiculous how common this has become. The whole idea behind 2-factor authentication is that you have 2 ways to verify that it's you. You have your email address that your account is linked to, and you also have a phone number that your account is linked to. When you have a new site or a new IP that connects to your account and is trying to access it, you're supposed to get a phone notification, right? There is a massive loophole. By accessing the account through the email, you can request to Google that the phone number is no longer within your possession, and can you please cancel? This completely makes sense to have in the system. People lose phone numbers all the time. The problem is, it's also a huge exploit for people that are trying to hack into these accounts, because it doesn't send any alert to the phone, as far as I know, whatsoever. On the one hand, kind of makes sense. On the other hand, if you do have a compromised account, you have no idea until you try to access your channel, and all of a sudden, you have whatever this is. An account that doesn't use your name, that no one recognizes, and is sharing spam and scams, essentially. This was a big thing for a while, where people were getting their accounts hacked, and cryptocurrency scams were taking over their channels in the form of streams, videos, whatever, with links to scam people. So what can YouTube do? What can we as an audience do? If you can have a history of what the channel name went by before, maybe you could have a little more information on who the channel originally was. As a viewer, all I can do is go to the About section, hit this Report User button, and then what? Harassment? Not really. Privacy? Not really. Impersonation? Maybe, but they're not actually impersonating anyone. If you try to go to None of These Are My Issue, it brings you to the community guidelines forum. How is this helpful in any way, shape, or form? The best you can do is put in spam and scams, tag the videos, and then put in something about additional notes of, this account is not who I originally subscribed to, please check with the original owner and do all this stuff with the original phone number that was in the system. This happened to Hatmaster, and thankfully he was able to get his account back with all the old videos, all of the comments and everything like that. But the only reason that he was actually able to learn about it in the first place was because of the fact that he had recovery emails assigned to his main email that was used for his main YouTube account. If it wasn't for those, I don't know if this would have been reversible for him. Because that's the only way he was able to get in touch with YouTube and to even get a notification that his account had been compromised in any way, shape, or form. The whole point of two-factor authentication is to make your account more secure. But if you have such a glaring, easily exploited facet of it like this, I almost have to wonder what's even the point. Okay, so due to the nature of how I usually end up doing videos, this came out a lot later than I was hoping. But I wanted to add an addendum. The channel that I originally said was probably hacked now shows up in my subscription box. And they have a bunch of videos that they're putting out now. But I still think this is a hacked account, even though, as far as I can tell from translations, this is more of a motivational course. Why do I think that? You remember the view count that I had originally. It was 24 million views. Second off, this account joined originally in December of 2014, 8 years ago. Those 24 million views are now down to 400. This account still has 22,000 subscribers. Why? I don't know. And there's two things going on here. Number one, with hacked accounts, Hatmaster talked about this. The first thing they do is they private all of your videos and then delete them. That makes the view count for the channel drop dramatically, and that's exactly what we saw here. But you still retain the subscriptions, all 22,000 of them in this case, and it still has the original join date. There are plenty of accounts that joined many, many years ago and haven't done anything with their channels. That's totally fine. But why would you have 22,000 subscribers unless you were doing some sort of no video challenge, which this channel is clearly not about in its current state? They're selling ebooks. There's something about, I'm assuming Auto Publicados is self-publishing. They're from Brazil. I've never subscribed to anyone that's from Brazil, let alone someone that speaks in Brazilian Portuguese, because I don't understand that. So that's why I think this is a hacked account, and that's why I wanted to make this video in the first place. Because two-factor authentication is a fundamentally flawed system with the way it's currently set up. And really the only way that you can prevent this is to have recovery emails to begin with. And of all the kinds of issues that YouTube has with bots, with scams, with spamming, this is easily the worst, because you have mid-sized channels with thousands of subscribers that are just big enough to have an audience getting hacked, getting completely shut down, and throwing out a bunch of random information that no one cares about. And there's no way for anyone to do anything except for the creator to hope that YouTube will get back to them and do something about the situation. This took Hatmaster an easy 3 weeks to have this whole situation resolved. And no one had any idea what happened to him because his channel just disappeared. It became this cryptocurrency scam channel. And I only learned about this because he also happens to stream on Twitch, and another content creator that plays the same game of Smite said something about Hatmaster's account being hacked when it happened. Whoever's account this was, I hope you can get your account back. And YouTube really needs to do something about the two-factor authentication system because it is broken. And just like the rest of their site, there are so many issues with it. It is so easily exploitable for no reason. It really sucks to see creators and entire communities going through this and not knowing what happened. Anyway, that's the end of the video for now. The next video I have will be something a little more positive, hopefully. But I had to put this out there. This is a huge problem. And above all else, I think this is potentially even more important than the Instagram and whatever scams that you see on large channels. This really needs to get taken care of.